Ooh, spooky edition of Oddball. I'm not a ghost. I don't know why I'm doing that voice. I'm Amin Elhassan. That over
Are
there,
you sure?
Charlotte Wilder. Wait, wait, do I have something on my face?
We don't know. We don't.
How's my hair
You
look?
should have. Yeah, your hair looks amazing, actually.
Thank you. Hey, Charlotte, got a great show for the crowd today. The second half of our conversation with George Gervin. He wrote the book Ice, Born to Score. You don't want to miss this.
Also, why didn't you bring that horse head to the Clippers preseason game against the Nuggets? It really would have. Jokic would have paid a lot more attention to us.
We could have got a solo, right?
Yeah, an
An
exclusive.
exclusive or something. I don't know. Next time, maybe. But first, the headlines. Oh. James Harden finally traded to the Clippers in a package that included PJ Tucker also going with him. In return, the Sixers got Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, KJ Martin, Marcus Morris, and several draft picks. You have your 2028 first round pick unprotected from Los Angeles going to Philadelphia. You also have a 2026 pick going from Oklahoma City to Philadelphia, and additionally 2 second-round picks and also a pick swap. All of this for a guy who's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Charlotte feels like the big gamble by James Harden, the big gamble by Lawrence Frank to not include the untouchable Terrence Mann. It all paid off.
Terrence Mann. If I had a nickel for every time we have said Terrence Mann's name. I mean, first of all, when we get into the draft picks conversation of any of these trades, it starts to feel a lot like math. And it's like a marching band starts playing in my head and I don't even know what's going on. So I'm going to focus on the players themselves. Right now with the Clippers, this means we have James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard, which is like the island of the, like, not misfit toys, but like toys that maybe have seen better days. And I just would like to say that as a 34-year-old who also feels completely broken down by her career in sports, I get it. I get it, guys. And you know what? You might be fine. You might not be fine, but you got a lot of money.
It's funny. I saw someone on Twitter say that Harden and Westbrook are like that couple that made a vow that if they're not married by 40, they'd marry each other. Right.
Zito.
The two friends.
Shout out Zito.
Yeah. Also saw another funny one that I saw is that get you a friend like PJ Tucker because that guy is ride or die. He's been with Harden. This is going to be his third team with him right now.
No, one thing about PJ Tucker that I think people forget, he also skipped Joel Embiid's wedding to party with Bun B and James Harden. So those guys they're in it. I mean, they are in it together.
We were on this months ago, right? Our very first investigative piece was about Joel Embiid's wedding and the absence of Harden and Tucker. And here we are. We told you all the things line up. But I think the really interesting thing here is the Clippers. I mean, this is a staggering win now type move when you talk about all those picks, not only the picks that they sent for Harden here, but also picks to Oklahoma City for the Paul George deal. That's still paying off. And by the way, in order to get that extra first round pick to Oklahoma City from Oklahoma City to send to Philadelphia, the Clippers gave up a pick swap to OKC that'll, basically if they end up having a better record than OKC, which is highly likely now, they're going to have to send their pick and they get the Thunder's pick in return. So you've got a multitude of things happening here for this Clipper team at the same time. Not a whole lot of long-term guarantees for any of this. Not only that it'll work or not, but that any of these guys will even be around because we have several free agencies impending there. Chief among them, obviously, James Harden is going to be a free agent next offseason.
First of all, yes, some of these guys might not be around. It's a huge gamble. It's sort of like the Rams in 2021, except I think they probably had a better chance of winning in this situation in terms of the win now. I also think that the Oklahoma City being so deeply involved with this is like, you can't write that. Like, this is the best reality show. We've got Harden and Westbrook start off there together. Harden leaves. Westbrook comes to Houston, it all falls apart. They're going to try it again. I can't fully, it's the fool me 4 times situation, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe
Unless
this time
it
it'll work.
works.
I
Maybe
like that.
this
Like
time it'll
maybe this time it works. My other favorite thing is if Daryl Morey doesn't take whatever he just got as a platter and turn it into something. I said that 2028 first round pick, that unprotected pick, is going to be really, really great for his successor. Like that guy is going to be like, thanks, Daryl. I really appreciate this because I have zero confidence that the Clippers are going to be good 5 years from now. I just feel like it's all going to implode. And then my final note on all this, somewhere Jimmy Butler is doing the LeBron to J.R. Smith thing to Damian Lillard. Like, just like, see, that's how you do it. So let it be known for everybody. Again, you want what you want. You get what you want in the NBA when you make a mess. If you're professional, if you do all the right things and say, I'm a good guy, I'll come up to the facility, I'll do all the right things. That's what happened to Damian Lillard. He didn't get what he wanted. I get it. He went to Milwaukee, and that's a good team, but he didn't get what he wanted. James Harden got ridiculed, and he made a huge mess. He got what he wanted. You know what I want, Charlotte?
What do you want to mean?
More headlines. Give me more.
The singing of the Star-Spangled Banner performed tonight by 6-time Grammy Award-nominated rapper and artist Flava Flav.
Oh, say.
This is going to be a really, really long pose to hold.
The dawn's early light.
You can't. It's so long. It's literally 3 minutes.
I know.
All right.
Okay.
They get the gist.
As you can tell, Flava Flav sang the national anthem at the Bucks-Hawks game over the weekend. And you know how everyone made fun of the Fergie one from a few years ago, where she just sounds like awful? This is the opposite of that. He did not, I don't know that I would say he sounded good, but it was great. It was art. It was a performance from the heart that I have watched the full 3 minutes of multiple times now at this point.
Of the brave, of the brave, of the brave.
For the first time in his 19th season career, Chris Paul came off the bench in the Golden State Warriors 106-95 win over the Houston Rockets on Sunday.
Tell them why.
Paul had started 1,365 career games, the most consecutive starts ever to begin a career prior to coming off the bench for the first time in more than 50 years.
Yes, but why?
The bench role was prompted by the return of Draymond Green, who's coming back from an ankle injury, making his season debut after missing the Warriors' first 2 regular season games.
Yeah, okay, so that's why. Because of Draymond Green. Chris Paul is benched for the first time in 19 years because of Draymond Green, who is the bane of Chris Paul's existence. And at this point, I have a question. Are they trolling Chris Paul? Like, does someone on the Warriors hate Chris Paul so much that they were like, we want to get you onto this team so that we can just make your life a living hell? Like, what are we doing here? And then Steve Kerr goes out and he's like, oh, thank you, Chris Paul, for sacrificing. You did such a good job sacrificing. I'm like, this feels mean.
No, it's not mean at all, Charlotte. The Warriors revealed that before training camp, they held a meeting discussing this very topic of who starts and who finishes games. Attending that meeting was Steve Kerr and 6 players: Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Kevon Looney, Draymond Green, and Chris Paul, who told The Athletic that this month-ago meeting was crucial to his acceptance of his new role Sunday night and that he relished the open dialogue. Said, quote, I'm an over-communicator. I say it all the time. No Sherlock. Other players also recalled the pre-camp meeting, with Wiggins saying, it just let everyone know that they're here for one reason, to win. And Looney saying, we all got to sacrifice. Uncertainty can cause confusion and separation. Klay Thompson added, barely remember it, honestly. That's why he's always my favorite.
Klay Thompson was like, I was kayaking right before then. I was a little tired.
No. Klay's like, I was high.
Yeah, Clay's like,
what? Something about, like, actually,
his actual
quote was, his actual quote was, just dudes talking about basketball. I did not make that up. That's straight from the story.
Steph Curry absolutely cooked Dillon Brooks on Steph's fourth three-pointer of the night when the Warriors played the Rockets. Then Steph hit Houston with Edvard Munch's The Scream.
Ah.
And it was
That's
finally
a smart reference.
Yeah, well, right. I've seen art before. That was a move so obvious that even Art But Make It Sports didn't have to say anything. But because that account never disappoints, they did come up with this.
Dude, I love this.
It's so good.
This might be better than making it The Scream, to be honest with you.
The death lurking behind. I mean, it might be. It's one of my favorites they've ever done, to be honest.
Oh man, and with Dillon Brooks looking all sad in the foreground.
Well, yes, Dillon once again is having a tough week. Wemby also this weekend hit a three just right over him. And then Wemby pointed at Dillon Brooks after he made the shot, which is, to me, it's like, what is this? Victor Wembanyama's third game in the NBA, and he already knows to like point at Dillon Brooks when he embarrasses him. That does not bode well for Mr. Brooks's future. I mean,
they learn it at rookie transition program.
Oh, right.
It's like watch out for loose women. Don't lend money to everybody. And Dillon Brooks is the butt of all jokes. It's true. Look it up.
Loose women. What is this? 1800s?
Hey man, it's still.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Okay.
Keep going. Keep going.
The NBA unveiled new court designs for the in-season tournament, and ladies and gentlemen, do not adjust your TV sets. This is real. It looks like this. Kind of looks like my vomit on a steady diet of tequila shots and Sour Patch Kids.
Ew.
Yeah. The league's official NBA account also posted this handy GIF of all 30 courts all at once. I feel like this should come with a warning for people who have epilepsy. Hey, Nana, Grams, come over here. I want to show you something.
A lot of grandparent jokes this week.
I know. I don't know what's going on. I'm excited for the tournament. Are you?
Yeah, I actually am. I feel like a lot of people are making fun of it, but I think it's going to be fun. And I think it will actually make the beginning of the season a little bit more exciting.
That's why we have the special courses, so that when you turn on the TV, you know this isn't a regular game. This is a special game. Special game for a special tournament. I'm in on it.
Me too. I do not understand the court's design, though.
Speaking of special, the number one high school prospect and presumed 2025 number one overall draft selection, Cooper Flagg, announced his commitment to attend Duke University next year. The pipeline of dudes headed to Duke with eminently punchable faces lives on, huh?
Also, though, Cooper Flagg is from Maine.
Shout out to Maine.
Shout out to Maine.
By the way, Cooper Flagg.
Did you see what my screen just did?
No.
Can you see it when I did this?
I can't see your screen. I'm reading my copy. I'm doing a show. I don't know if you know.
Me too, but I did hearts with my hands and hearts came out.
Okay. All right. Well.
Okay. All right.
Cooper Flagg and Duke head coach John Shire kind of look like they're in a Looper situation. If you've seen that movie. If you haven't, go rent it. It's really good.
Have not seen it. The Celtics beat the Miami Heat 119 to 111.
It was Friday.
Yeah, but the Celtics beat the Heat. We got it. I must report the news. What if someone hadn't heard?
You know what? Save that for when you're in studio, okay? Say those little ribbings for when you can see Parakeet Cortez or whoever the hell you're talking to right now.
Just grab Cortez into the room, be like, coward, and then push him out.
Yeah. After dumping 28 on Chet Holmgren in the Nuggets' 33-point win over the Thunder, Nikola Jokic offered Chet the same advice he's likely given to one of his dozen horses, saying, quote, I think he needs to be a little bit fatter, to be honest, but yes, he has a talent that is unique.
Just love this so much because Jokic is a versatile elite player, and now he's taken on the role of Serbian mother, where he's just handing out soup, being like, eat, you are skin and bones.
Handing out soup? Who gains weight on soup?
Maybe a stew. I don't know. A turkey leg? Like medieval time. He takes Chet Holmgren to medieval times and he's like, eat the whole turkey leg, Chet.
No, it's Serbia.
Oh. So like borscht.
Kim Kardashian's underwear brand Skims was named the official underwear partner of the NBA, the WNBA, and USA Basketball.
Let me tell you, Mean. I see London. I see France. I say Team USA's underpants.
How did I agree to the cease and desist on Zion jokes? What a
Thank God.
perfect right about now.
Thank God.
We'll always have 2021. Coming up, the second half of our conversation with Hall of Famer and top 75 all-time player George Gervin. He wrote his memoirs. It's called Ice, Born to Score. You don't want to miss this. Speaking of your career, one of the things that I've been very passionate about talking about on NBA radio is the contributions of players like yourself who played in the ABA. I tell people all the time, if you go back into 1973 and you watch NBA basketball and you watch ABA basketball and you say, which one of these looks like the game today? People will all point to the ABA, the style of play, up and down, the improvisation, the three-point line, right? All of these things live today, whereas kind of NBA basketball from back then was very robotic. It doesn't look anything like the game today. And yet, the NBA still doesn't count your scoring titles, your scoring records, the points you scored. It doesn't count the coaching wins for the coaches who won there. Why do you think there is such a rejection of including ABA history into NBA history?
You know, because life ain't fair. We all know that.
We need to put that on a shirt or a hat. Life ain't fair, the Iceman.
But I mean, think about it. When we merged in 76, in 77 and 78, look at the all-star team.
Mm-hmm.
ABA guys. It was more ABA guys than it was NBA guys. Yep. Again, if you don't do your research, you can let somebody else push your narrative. If you think about it like this, now they say Larry Bird and Magic Johnson saved the NBA. Okay, that's the narrative y'all want to push. When we merged in 76, the league got more entertaining. Mm-hmm. You already said how more robotic they was. You know, they scoring 80 points. Come on, man. I mean, 80 points, we was averaging 115. So we were entertainers. So once you integrated the entertainers, the league grew. Why they don't give us more credit than I know we deserve? I'm not going to bash them because it's their league. They can do what they want to do. But again, life ain't fair.
What do they say, though? What do they say to you guys?
Nothing. Why would you answer something? Why would you want me to ask you a question when all of us already know the answer? They playing ABA basketball now. If they could, they'll put a 4-point shot. But the big three got that one. It's all entertainment. People say, man, I know you wish you were playing now, man, make the $100 million. No, I don't. I know what I did when I was making $1 million. So what I make $100 million if I ain't right? Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a part. They can't take this from me. I'm a part of the foundation to where this game is today, whether they give me credit or not. I know it. If you do your research, you'll say, wow, man, the ABA was that special, for the NBA. So if life was fair, we'll be celebrating the ABA in every arena. We'll be celebrating it, exposing what the ABA basketball league did for the NBA today.
To put it in perspective, George, for the people that don't know, if you counted George's only his NBA points, he's 45th scoring all time. If you count his ABA points to it, and he only played 4 seasons in the ABA along with his long NBA career, he's top 20. He's 18. So that makes a massive difference. Massive difference. I remember talking about that with Larry Brown. How Larry Brown, if you counted his ABA and NBA wins, he was actually going to be the winningest coach. And these guys all had to leapfrog him. Now, Pop is all time now, as is Don Nelson. But there was a point where Larry Brown, if you added up all his wins, he was leading it. So it is important, I think, because like you said, they're playing y'all game now. They're playing your game every day now. And that's something that I'm truly puzzled why they try to put y'all in a box and put it up in the attic and say, well, that was something a long time. Don't worry about all that. What matters is this stuff over here. When everything you got, all your swag came from that box in the attic.
Not being supported, from the league, it's hurtful to the guys that played. It's 115 of us left. They gave us a recognition fund, for whatever reason. They gave us a recognition fund, and it's supposed to have been like a pension. They had a right to do whatever they want to do, man. I mean, it's their league again, man. I mean, and you push whatever narrative you want, but fair, we're supposed to be a part of the celebration of what this league is today. That's only right. But see, we live in a world, and both y'all know it, that's so unfair. I mean, and it's so many guys that deserve to be recognized. Man, come on, man. You think about the ABA guys, man. You think about their children and their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren, and they don't recognize that they pops was a part of what this league is today. That's what I talk about more than the money. These guys deserve that kind of recognition, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We're a part of the foundation of this league.
Yeah.
And not to be celebrated, you wonder what's wrong with some people.
Man, thank you so much for joining. I have one more question. I know we're up against time, but I got to get this question out here because I love reading these memoirs because I learned things. I learned things that I didn't know. And one of the things I learned was that you had a friendship with Marvin Gaye. And I was like, what? Yo, I mean, I don't know why it shocked me, but it just shocked me. I never heard it before. How did you and Marvin Gaye become friends?
Well, Doc Sims, who is in the book, also they was neighbors. He was my high school doctor. He the one that public school. We went to him for a physical, and him and Doc was real close. So that's how I met Marvin as a young man. So Marvin used to come see me play in college, and also, as a pro. I mentioned I was with him 2 weeks before he died.
Right.
I was there in the studio with him when he did Anna Hear Your Song. I can see the sparrows singing, baby. I never forget it, man. I mean, Marvin loved basketball. But what I loved about him, man, he was way before his time.
Mm.
I mean, just think about some of the songs he wrote, and I got a documentary coming out, y'all, at the end of the month. And Marvin is on it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
And he was special, man. But, man, do you know, man, I ain't got no pictures with him.
No. Really?
Here.
Yeah, in your head you have them.
That's what matters.
I don't care about people seeing, when I played the Lakers, man, his sisters and them came over and say, Iceman, will you come see Marvin? Because Marvin was struggling at that time in his own mental health issue, and I said, okay, I'll go over. And I went over there and sat with him, man, most of the night, listening to all his songs and stuff, man. He had new songs that never been heard, man. And so that was a special relationship with me, man. And I got pretty much everything by him, man. And, it's just so good to have that kind of relationship, man. So I'm proud, man. I'm glad y'all took the time to read the book, man. I hope you liked it, man. And, I'm not here to make money. That's what I told him when I was writing it. I'm here to, try to give some youngsters some wisdom.
George, that's how you know you're a real writer. You say, I'm not here to make money.
No, I ain't here to make no money. That's right. I ain't here to make
not the way.
Wisdom is all we got, to pass on and relationships. So I appreciate them smiles.
Thank you, sir. The book is Ice, Why I Was Born to Score. It's got a foreword by Kevin Durant. His name is George Gervin. Thank you so much for joining us here on Oddball.
Thank y'all.
That's going to do it for us today. The color bars are on the screen.
In college, I ate a peanut butter and fluff sandwich every day for dessert.